10-game home win streak alive. They're hosting the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Here's a look at your Big 12 standings. What's at stake? Well, with Oklahoma State coming in 10-12 overall, 2-7 in league play. They're in their road gray uniforms, and they control the opening tip. Your officials tonight: Ray Natili, Antonio Petty, and Tony Padilla.
The first key for the Cowboys, obviously, do not turn the ball over.
Houston, Michael Wright, 51, a veteran, both starting the last 5+ contests now for Mike Boyle.
You're going to see heavy pressure, especially in pick and roll with lots of traps.
Here's Wright, a 2,000-point scorer in his college career.
Smith at High Point, where Rich, his last 2 years, he averaged 20 and 18 in back-to-back seasons as scorer. Little zone.
Here's Shed, 2-point range. First two for Jamal Shed.
Well, Jamal,
no whistle. In case you haven't watched Big 12 hoops, this is arguably the most physical league in the nation as well, Fred.
Yeah, it is, and sometimes a little too physical. We'll get into that later, but certainly the players enjoy that.
Best point guards in the nation.
Now, Cowboys, they have opened up in a zone right here. Kind of a 3-2 look.
They get it inside and then back out. 2-point for
the Cougars close.
Here's Javon Small. He's been the best player for Mike Point in this season. And there's a big three for the Cowboys. Here's what punctuates exactly what you said, Fran. There are 13 Big 12 freshmen who average 10 or more minutes a game. 4 of them are on this Oklahoma State roster.
And not necessarily a good recipe, at least for winning right now.
Foul called as Javon Small.
About the difference, you know, American to
from beyond the arc in the last 4 games. Leads this team in points, assists.
Is good in terms of the execution of half-court offense. Their effort is a big part of why they're good offensively.
I love what Kelvin says at practice to his team. You have to outwork your problems.
Oh, well, there's a lot of Kelvinisms that we've picked up over the last few weeks.
Here's Sharp for 3. Got it.
Here at high school with a broken leg and just rounding into form.
Now 7 of his last 16 from beyond the arc is Emmanuel Sharp. John Michael Wright doesn't have an answer, but he gets fouled on the 3-point attempt by none other than Sharp. Wright had 10.
Made 276 threes.
Wow. Baylor, Texas Tech, staring at their first 2-game losing streak. Again, the high hedge and the recovery by Tugler. And Garrison turns it over. Shed in transition, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, just to add person, we're just locked into the Big 12. Just too much contact.
One thing or 2 things that you would do to mitigate that?
Yeah, you got to call illegal screen.
GM doing a little recruiting.
Someday.
JoJo Tugler off the mark, but gets his own miss. Offensive rebounds, another strength of this Houston team. And Shed in the 2-point range.
And that was all.
Shoot-arounds are like practices.
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. They're 10th in the nation in forcing turnovers and 4th in the nation in turnovers per game. So they value the basketball. Tugler, top 2 for the freshman.
Oh, yeah.
Down this suffocating Houston defense. They are so good at home. 88-6 since 2018 in this building.
It is a great home court advantage for Tita Center.
Here's Malik Wilson, flips it up and somehow gets it to go. An and one opportunity.
He kind of knows. He kind of knows, like, all right, if I'm going to get fouled, I'll just flip it up there. And you could not do that if you tried about 25 more times. But good for Malik, former Texas Tech Red Raider. There.
And Wilson completes the Javon Small leading scorer. Nice inside look. Garrison can't get it to go. And here comes Shed. Found some airspace, and he's got his third bucket of the night. Here's a catch and shoot. Right off the mark, one and done again for Oklahoma State. L.J. Cryer getting extended rest for Kelvin Sampson, and there's another easy two for Jamal Shead. First play.
Statement tonight.
Inside, and a foul. No easy baskets against this Cougs defense. And instead, number 5, Keon Williams, will go to the line. And inside, Keon Williams. In Louisville, that is the only top 25 matchup of the night in women's college basketball. A fresh 20 for the Cowboys after the missed free throw. Here's Wright. And that's his specialty.
And that's the shot that they have to. 2 years for Mike Boynton.
Playing in his 145th career game. He's one of 12 active players with 2,000+ career points. There's another easy bucket in 2-point range for Houston.
Shoot it.
Garrison. No, gets his own miss and puts it back.
Good effort. Isn't a word, Rich. Houston's pretty good rebounding team, too.
7 minutes to go in the first half. Wilson with the steal and the breakaway. The tap back, no. Here come the Cougs again. Shead puts it into second gear and gets a layup.
Francis did a good job of getting down the floor and posting up.
Sharp. No. Battle for the loose ball, and Javier Francis has it and has his first bucket of the night.
There's that.
That's a good skip pass, but Small can't pay it off. Offensive rebound, and Justin McBride.
Special. But in modern basketball with the transfer portal, you just...
Cryer creating space. Short, and McBride's got the rebound.
Good sign. Young man getting a chance.
Small forcing the issue. He'll go to the line and shoot.
I have no idea, but I know this. They were thorough tonight. They go to the Octagon of Doom, and he is 11-0 in overtime games.
Yeah.
And the 6th this year ties the all-time record in a season.
Crazy.
Yep. There's that zone again. Turns into a 2-3.
Damian Dunn for 3. And he is a pet project for Kelvin Sampson.
He really is. The Temple transfer, who is, let's say he's incurred the wrath of the head coach when it comes to effort. That's a foul.
Nice take by Small. A chance at a... just to go back to that Kansas game. First half, a half dominated by the number 5 Houston Cougars. And that domination continues. Jamal Shead got blocked by the front of the rim. Justin McBride, % free throw shooter on the season. And he makes the first.
Yeah.
Don't count him out just yet. He's averaging 34, 5 rebounds.
Rookie season. Within the amount of minutes that he's played this year, very few, if any, rookies have ever done that.
Of course, the volume isn't there for Sasser, but the talent certainly is. Jamal Shead gets his first 3 of the night. He's got 16.
I know L.J. Cryer is a Wooden Award candidate, but I think if you ask people in this league, they'll say that Jamal Shead is the most valuable when Frank had to play. And we're going to see something that we didn't. And I asked Kelvin yesterday about him. He said he's a 5th semester guy. It's a great opportunity, even in a minute and a half.
Now youngster on youngster. And the foul's going to go on Lapp.
But Cedric's got to learn to just stay vertical.
His first, but he's missed his last 3. And this season, courtesy of this Houston Cougars defense.
And nobody in this building would be stunned by that stat.
Dunn off the mark. And Wilson picks it up and puts it back. 7 points for Malik Wilson. Everybody contributing. Of that game that we used to play when we were growing up, Battleship.
Yeah.
Jamal Shead, you sank Oklahoma State's Battleship in the first half with 17 points. He also has 3 steals, and his numbers now, assist to turnover wise, he has 50 steals on the year and only 44 turnovers.
He's a consummate floor general.
Here's Cryer. It's been a quiet night for him. He gets the dime to J'Wan Roberts.
Kelvin Sampson, red one-type guys. Uh-oh.
Here's Garrison.
See how effortlessly Roberts switches, and
now John Michael Wright, his 3rd 3 of the night.
Jay Wright used to teach on that play, just put your hands back. Show your hands back so there's no intention.
Now Roberts working the left side. Garrison can't stay with him. J'Wan Roberts has 4. Here's Garrison, steps back and draws the foul on Roberts.
And now remember, this fine is a homegrown kid, McDonald's All-American.
20 against Baylor, 20 against West Virginia.
You know, and this young man is 2 years away.
Not the case for Garrison. Look at that lob. And Javier Francis rose up against the entire. Good hands by Roberts. Inside Garrison, no, and Roberts called for the foul. Now a little bit of foul trouble for Kelvin Sampson and company. J'Wan Roberts with 3.
I don't think he fouled him, but I like the aggressiveness of the freshman. Let's take a look right here.
So check that. That's 4 now. About the evolution of Brandon Garrison. Ken Pom has him as a 70.
I love watching Cryer play.
Sharp hangs, can hit, and Emmanuel Sharp, who had 7 points.
Sat out his freshman year. He's going to be a really good player. Red shirts.
This is our featured matchup, number 4, Kansas. I believe it's at Baylor. It's
in
Kansas.
Lawrence.
You're right.
Because I'll be in Waco for that rematch, and Bill Self wins 95% of his home games. A hero to many, many of us. And I talked to Isaiah Thomas at one time, and he said at the end of Coach Mack's career, he was working at a boys club in Chicago. And we have a technical foul right here.
Uh-oh.
He's been ejected. Wow.
And Kelvin Sampson with his team up 20 just got the gate on his home floor.
That was a push in the back. That has to be called. And I'm going to just say this crew's done a good job to this point. The physicality in the Big 12 the last 2 weeks is unacceptable, okay? Now, Kelvin is proving a point right here, and I think he overreacted. And I say that half-jokingly. Has some of the best officials in the country. There has been too much physicality around college basketball the last 2 weeks.
So the reason Javon Small is shooting 4 free throws is Kelvin Sampson, and you know you're always going to find his wife Karen sitting right behind the bench.
Well, it is a family business, there's no question. That's why he came to Houston.
Cryer, no. Ramon Walker the rebound. And Sharp a quick twitch. Another floor burn for the Cougs. Shed. You think those 2 T's have lit a spark?
By the way, Scott Drew was not totally out of it, but the referees of Shed could coach this team. He and Roberts, if the staff went on a vacation, Jamal Shed could coach this team. We watched him at shoot-around today, right? Pretty much the assistant coach.
Yeah, the captain of the ship. There's Emmanuel Sharp. He has 13.
He keeps adding to his game, more than just a shooter.
Here's Garrison at the line. 7 Eastern. If you're a Big 12 fan, you got to have it. Sign up at ESPN+.com.
See that rematch in Stillwater a couple weeks later.
The 247th meeting between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma coming up. Cryer with the floater.
Teardrop.
Throwing Cougars. 5 on the shot clock. John Michael Wright. Short on the 3. The one more to Shed. And bodies hit the deck again. Here's Hicklin with an easy 2.
And we haven't called Jarius Hicklin's name tonight. The transfer from North Breeze. And now close to home playing in the Big 12.
Here's Dunn. And he gets an and 1 opportunity. Good pace.
Quentin Grimes did a couple years ago, who left Kansas. Toughness, moving the ball, being a great teammate. He's certainly capable of it, and he gives them a real X factor scoring-wise, Rich.
Here's the freshman Eric Daly with the second effort.
Nice move by Daly, who's had a WNBA shell.
That's right.
Going to be that plus tonight, more than likely. Mike Boynton didn't like that last foul on Daly. But you see, I think you have to call this. These are the kind of foul calls you must.
Houston has as much, if not major conference basketball.
Well, keep in mind, they have
mentors.
Yes, and Kelvin has become a mentor the way that Kelvin will tell you that John Thompson, John Chaney, and Nolan Richardson were mentors to a young Kelvin Sampson. Kelvin is not an African American. Kelvin Sampson, as you see the foul call. You'll consider John Thompson, who had those great Georgetown teams.
Not only that, but maybe the most famous story I know about George Raveling is he was next to Martin Luther King Jr. when he made his famous "I Have a Dream" speech.
And has the speech,
yes,
and will never sell it. And that happened all by serendipity. And that's why he is a member of the Cougars now.
Had 16 points in the game-winning free throw in that upset. And Houston was #1 in the nation last year at that time. And there's a mistake by Dunn fouling the three-point shooter. Again, if you're just tuning in, no Kelvin Sampson. The worst defense of Houston Cougar basketball in the last decade.
By the way, if you look at that bench, and we will in a second, or at some point.
In Houston, Texas, the #5 Cougs, 69. Oklahoma State, 42, alongside Fran Fraschilla. I'm Rich Hollenberg. So it clearly looks like it's trending toward another Houston victory. They'll be the first Big 12 team this season to 7 wins in conference. And you look at that
guard play.
We're hearing word that maybe C.J. Frederick might play Saturday.
C.J. is a 44% three-point shooter. That family is legendary in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati.
5 on the shot clock.
There you
Small
go.
knocks it down.
Javon Small, the transfer. It's not the best the league has ever been because Kansas is not a juggernaut, neither is Baylor. And this kid's been great tonight, Malik Wilson. Yep. Again, this is a chance. There are 12 Big 12 teams that are still in the mix for an NCAA bid.
And I know it's early, but Joe Lunardi, Joey Brackett, says right now 9 teams are in. There's Sharp with another 3. That's his 3rd three-pointer tonight.
And Sharp's only a sophomore.
It's a scary thought for the rest of the Big 12, who's welcoming in the likes of Arizona and Arizona State and Colorado and Utah.
They missed a couple of anybody in the Big 12 because they're young players. They're starting 2 freshmen, which is unheard of in this league at the top of the league. Misi and Walter are probably both top 20 picks, but they're getting better.
I got to see Misi with a career-high 25 against TCU. Super athletic. Good hands by Javon Small. So now we count down to 5 minutes to go in a game dominated by the #5 Houston Cougars. There's a 3 from Eric Daly.
Quiet. Nice. Nice. Oh. So patient right there. Jamal Shead came off that pick and roll. Kelvin Sampson told us he learned so much about pick and roll basketball in his 6 years in the NBA.
And a foul.
Danny Hurley's got that thing humming for Saturday. I changed my mind on Monday. And then others don't get a chance to see everybody. So Ken Palmstats, DeBart Torvik, EvanMia.com, those things do it for me because, Rich, analytics see. Well,
Working on
Texas and Oklahoma, but they've traded inside.
5 to shoot for the Cougs. 3 minutes to go in the game. Wilson's had himself a night.
Yes, this is good sign. Remember, Malik Wilson take a back seat to anybody. He'd be a very good low major player. He happens to be a Houston Cougar, probably for life.
He has 1-3 this season. You know the crowd's going to want Jay Cryer scoring. Listen, but Malik Wilson tied a season high tonight.
Let me ask you this, Rich. Kelvin Sampson gets the win. Does Kellen get the save?
At least the hold.
Yeah,
he gets
to get the save, but. Sloppy. Kellen does not like that.
Yeah, that's not going to please either of the Sampsons.
Yep. One of the things that used to annoy me as a coach is to have a big lead, put your guys at the end of the bench in, and then they give up a...
To put that stat to bed. Part 1 against Oklahoma, then they're home against BYU and at Cincinnati. We already told you these Cougars will be traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bearcats, and then they're home against Texas. And they have a revenge game against Iowa State here in Houston. They lost the Big 12 opener to the Cyclones in Ames.
Well, I think the real revenge game is on March 9th. Because they've already been talking about that.
Bobby, who, anytime you're at a Houston game, you know there's going to be bodies flying.
Into the picture, and he was illegally guarding right. 12, you got to eliminate that contact. Too much contact.
If Rex Chapman is watching, his question would be block or charge.
Oh, that's definitely a charge.
For our guy Bobby, that was definitely a charge. Malik Wilson will dribble it out. Houston gets their 20th win on the season, and they're the first Big 12 team to 7 wins in league play. The win streak at home continues. It's now 18 for the Houston Cougars. Our final score one more time. Houston 79, Oklahoma State 63. For Fran Fraschilla and our entire crew, including our producer Joe Taylor and director Charlie Reynolds, I'm